Good morning to all present here. I welcome you all to Youth Parliament session. The topic for discussion is how to make school a better place for learning and growth. I urge all the members to maintain decorum, raise their points respectfully, and adhere to the allocated time. Let us start the session by inviting our Honorable Prime Minister to share government's vision.
Respected Speaker, honorable members of the Parliament, and people of this nation, our government recognizes the challenges students face in schools today. Our primary goal is to transform schools into the spaces where children can learn and grow holistically. To achieve this, we propose modernizing classrooms with smart boards and e-learning tools, reducing teacher-student ratio for personalized attention, implementing anti-bullying policies for safe school environment, and providing health services and nutritious meals for well-being of students. My cabinet ministers will now elaborate on this initiation. I hope for constructive suggestions from the opposition and active participation from all members.
Honorable Speaker, our ministry will focus on improving teacher training programs, reducing activity-based learning, and providing free digital resources to underprivileged children. We will also ensure that every school has a library and access to high internet.
Honorable Speaker, to promote students' health, we will provide mandatory medical checkups in school every 6 months. We will also launch awareness campaigns about mental health and ensure that every school has a trained counselor.
We plan to make schools environmentally friendly by initiating waste segregation programs, reducing single-use plastic, and encouraging tree plant drives by our students. Greener campuses lead to healthier minds.
Honorable Speaker, the government has allocated special budget for these reforms. We will build funds for digital classrooms, scholarships for economically weaker sections, and financial aid for schools in rural areas.
Honorable Speaker, safety is our top priority. We can ensure school have CCTV cameras, conduct gender sensitivity workshops, and set up crime and strike cells to address bullying or harassment.
Honorable Speaker, while the government sounds promising, how will they ensure that the resources will be equitably distributed among urban and rural schools? We demand answers on this critical issue.
Honorable Speaker, how will your government ensure that digital learning tools are accessible to schools without proper electricity or internet?
Honorable Speaker, the government talks about health services, but what about addressing the rising pressure of academics on mental health?
Honorable Speaker, schools are burdened with limited funds. How will the government implement these reforms without compromising existing infrastructure?
Honorable Speaker, what are the steps to train teachers to adapt new digital tools effectively?
Honorable Speaker, why has the government ignored extracurricular activities and sports as essential parts of education?
Honorable Speaker, the government is promoting smart classrooms, but how will you address teacher training gaps to ensure they can effectively use these technologies?
Honorable Speaker, the government's focus on digital learning will empower students in the rural areas and bridge the education gap between urban and rural regions.
Honorable Speaker, the anti-bullying measures proposed by the government will ensure schools are safer places for every child. We fully support this initiative.
Honorable Speaker, while digital learning is a great idea, we must not forget the importance of human interaction in classrooms. Has the government considered this?
Honorable Speaker, the government plan sounds ambitious, but at a detailed timeline, what changes can we expect to be implemented?
The floor is now open for an interactive debate. Each member will get 1 minute to share their views or ask questions. Raise your hands. I will recognize you in order. Start proceeding.
Honorable Speaker, this question is to Education Minister. How will the government ensure that rural schools get easy access to high-speed internet required for digital classrooms?
Honorable Speaker, we will provide free Wi-Fi for rural schools, and devices such as tablets are distributed among rural schools. We will also equip that rural schools get computers and internet facilities. The government will provide funding for internet access to rural schools.
Next.
Honorable Speaker, my question is to Finance Minister. Given the budget constraints in many schools, can you clarify how funds will be allocated and monitored to avoid misuse?
Honorable Speaker, I came up with impeccable ideas. First, we have to allocate, then monitor, then prevention of misuse. First, allocation. We have to establish clear goals and priorities. Then, develop the budget planning. Then, categorize expenses. Then, assign weights for categories. Next, monitoring. We have to designate a budget manager. Then, implement a tracking system. Then, reviews of budget. then financial reporting. Last, prevention of misuse. We have to separate the duties, then approval processes, then documentation and record keeping.
Okay, but what problems do children face when they doesn't have the basic infrastructure in schools?
Poor infrastructures can impede students' learning and process. Overcrowding, noise and not keeping limited funds etc. are faced by the students.
Okay, I agree with you. Are you willing to consider alternative solutions for the current economic crisis like layoffs, like reducing and redistributing work hours and infrastructure in schools, for example? And would you and your party will be willing to consider financial incentives and budget constraints? What is the step by my question?
Honorable Speaker, we will definitely come up with a better solution for this.
Next.
Honorable Speaker, my question is to the Health Minister. What specific measures do you take to address the alarming rise in anxiety and depression among the students?
Honorable Speaker, nowadays most of the students of the generation are facing a major problem of anxiety and depression. To address the rise of anxiety and depression among the students, we can promote self-care, encourage the students to build healthy relationships, and we also provide mental health services and non-self-care, which plays a visual role in this. It includes getting enough sleep, eating healthy food, doing exercise regularly, and staying connected with family and friends.
Honorable Speaker, if building healthy relationships is a cornerstone of your strategy, then how will your ministry address pervasive impact of social media and online bullying on mental health of students, particularly in an increasing world of internet?
Honorable Speaker, we will definitely come up with a solution for this.
Next.
Honorable Speaker, my question is to Environment Minister. How will the government implement and do for the students and staff with the incentives?
Honorable Speaker, our government's main motto is to improve schools as eco-friendly schools by creating environmental campaigns and educating the school students and school staff about the importance of eco-friendly schools. We could enhance the environmental conditions in our schools.
Okay, how can incentives help in eco-friendly campuses?
Honorable Speaker, we will come up with a solution for this.
Next.
Honorable Speaker, my question is to Women and Child Welfare Minister, and your question is, what steps will you take to ensure grievance redressal cells are effective and accessible to all students?
Honorable Speaker, we provide the options for submissions for encouraging the students to report issues without any fear of relationships. We provide multiple communication channels such as WhatsApp, online forms, emails, and submissions for easier access. We regularly monitor the grievance process to collect the student feedback to improve the systems of effectiveness and responsiveness. We provide both online and offline channels to fill the grievance process.
Next.
My question, Honorable Speaker, my question is to Prime Minister. What is the government doing to ensure active participation of parents in school reform?
Honorable Speaker, conducting cultural programs where parents can engage themselves and involving them in every aspect of school.
Next.
Honorable Speaker, this question is for the opposition. You have criticized the government's plan, but do you have any alternative proposal to address issues like mental health or exam stress?
Honorable Speaker, schools can incorporate mindfulness, meditation or yoga sessions into daily schedule. Conduct workshops for teachers so that they can understand the science of mental health or stress.
Honorable Speaker, here are few alternative proposals to address mental or exam stress, mental health services, wellness places, campus events.
Honorable Speaker, I have some proposals to address issues like mental health or exam stress. They are emotional intelligence training, self-care sessions, art therapy, student mentorship programs.
Next.
Honorable Speaker, they raised concerns about sports and extracurricular activities. What do they think should be the government's approach to integrate these into the curriculum?
Honorable Speaker, I have few ways by that the government can score big by integrating sports and extracurricular activities in the curriculum. There are infrastructure and resources, establish school sports leagues, develop diverse clubs and societies, organize science fairs and exhibitions.
Honorable Speaker, here are few ways the government can integrate sports and extracurricular activities, fitness programs, music classes, art programs, and debate clubs and science fair.
Honorable Speaker, collaborate with educators, matter experts, industry professionals. It creates updated and inclusive curriculum.
Next.
Honorable Speaker, what monitoring systems will be put in place to evaluate the success of these reforms in real time?
Honorable Speaker, to evaluate the successful reforms in real time, several monitoring systems will be implemented. The
depending on the nature of the reforms.
Members, we now vote on the resolution. The government's plan to improve schools should be implemented. Those in favor, raise your hands. Down your hands. The resolution is passed based on the majority votes. Thank you members for your participating.
Today's session highlighted the government's ambitious plans to improve schools and opposition's valid concerns about their executions.
Today's news report on Parliament session. The debate was engaging between both sides presenting strong arguments. The resolution was passed with majority vote. Overall, it is a successful session showcasing the power of discussion in democracy.
Thank you everyone for participating in Youth Parliament session. It was heartening to see such constructive discussions. I hope this session inspires all of us to contribute to make school a better place for learning and growth. This session is adjourned.
Impact students?
The proposed changes can positively impact students but may not fully address their mental stress and inclusivity concerns.
Do you think the ruling party can implement the reforms that they have talked about?
Honestly, I am skeptical about ruling party's ability to implement these reforms. We need to see tangible progress, not just promises.
Do you think that this debate is productive?
Yes, I think the discussion is productive. We have respectful exchange of ideas and concerns, which is essential for finding solution and making progress.
Thank you, ma'am, for your quality.
Excuse me, sir. Yeah. As you are our environmental minister, do you consider the opposition ideas?
Yeah, of course. I would consider the opposition ideas as they will help us a lot for more improvement.
Can you give us few environmental suggestions that can be executed in schools?
Yeah, of course. Educating students and school staff about the importance of eco-friendly schools, conducting environmental campaigns and reducing the use of